kind of a strong point eventually in me expressing myself and figuring out the world and life and people. So coupled with writing, I think I just had an interest in life and in the way things worked and how relationships worked, and so my interest in life coaching came after marriage. When I discovered that I needed support, I needed to figure out what was going on, why were things going wrong, why was my marriage not the way that I would wanted to be. So because I was struggling so much, and yeah, that kind of put me into action, into writing about my struggles first and foremost. That's where it started, and then after connecting with other women, and especially after Soft and Strong, when that got released, other women responded to it, and so many women could resonate with the stories, and that highlighted to me that our stories are so similar as wives, yet it's kind of covered, it's under the covers, because nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about the struggles we have as wives going into a marriage, as new wives especially. It's all hush-hush, and we don't know how to talk about it. And I think we also don't realize how common the problems are and how everybody has a similar problem.
Yes.
So after Soft and Strong, that's when everything kind of got put into perspective for me in terms of being a wife coach.
So in terms of the time gap in your writing journey between Soft and Strong, so you started off first with your poetry, and then you moved on to Soft and Strong, and now you at this point now where you are launching another new book. So speak to us about just the time frame.
Okay, the first book was just me finishing off what I had started, because I always wanted to, well, not always, but I had dreamed to publish my work. And my work started out with writing short stories and poetry. So this was just poetry that was lying about since maybe 12 years old, or even earlier than that. And I just collected it all, and I not all of it, but some of it, and I put it into a book. So that was Shadowed Whispers. It's just work from the past, really. Soft and Strong is, like I said, when I discovered that there needed to be a voice to the problems that women were experiencing in the marriage. That's when Soft and Strong came about. And it was just really me dipping my toes in the water and seeing what the reaction would be, because I also did pick up there were some things I needed to be brave to actually talk about it, or even introduce the topic of it. And I wasn't brave enough initially, so I just kind of dipped my toes in the water to see what the reaction would be. There was some positive and some negative reaction, but alhamdulillah, there was enough positive for me to go forth even further, and now I've got the enlightened wife.
Yes, so we are also streaming live on the Voice of the Cape Facebook and YouTube platform. So if you'd like to also tune in and see the face behind the voice, then you can hop onto the Voice of the Cape Facebook and YouTube platforms. And yes, if you are tuning in now, or if you have just joined us, we are in conversation with Halima David. She is an author, and she is originally from Cape Town but resides in Ireland. She is a mother, wife, and so she is also launching a new book, and the title of the book is The Enlightened Wife. Now, you basically touched a bit on your inspiration, behind your works. So speak to us about the actual writing process, because for many people, we all have our own individual stories, but we might not all be at that point where we are now ready to pin it down and I'm going to now start writing a book. So speak about your process in terms of writing.
It's a long process, I won't lie. It's a long process. SubhanAllah, it takes patience and perseverance. But I think because I love writing, and it's my way of expressing myself and sorting out the world, it was a little bit easier for me. I didn't have to struggle with the words so much, but the organization of the book, that's what I struggled with the most. And that's actually what took most of the time, I think. So yeah, it's a process. It takes a while, and you just have to have the patience to go through it to get to the final product.
Do you also do journaling? Like, do you have a...
Yes.
Because I think for many writers, that is where it all starts.
Yes, exactly. And that is where it actually started for me, actually.
All right.
Yes, that is where it started for me. Journaling about being a wife, being a mom, just balancing everything. And the thoughts eventually got to a book with Soft and Strong.
Okay, mashallah. So, I have a question, because I'm a mom. I have three children, and you have 4. So I'm certain that you very busy and they keep you very busy. So how do you actually manage to find the time to write? And also, you are homeschooling and you are in a different country where your mom and your parents aren't with you. You don't have a support structure where, okay, I can, send my child to my sister now, and I'm going to make time now to maybe an hour in my day, and I'm going to focus on my writing. Where do you find time?
SubhanAllah, yeah. I don't know, actually, to be honest with you. I don't know, SubhanAllah, all I just put it into action and facilitated my actions and made it easy for me, actually. But it was, and it is still a challenge. Yes, we were homeschooling. This year in Ireland, the kids started school in September. My kids are starting school this year. But it was a juggle. It was a lot, because I constantly felt torn, pulled in different directions, because I love writing, I love connecting with women, I love coaching women and seeing them putting into action what I taught them and the tips I gave them, the advice, and all of those things have nourished me as a wife. I found it to be essential for me to continue with it. Yet I had my kids and I had the house, and so it's a constant pull and push kind of a thing. And I had my husband also supporting and helping out with the kids and homeschooling and all of that, alhamdulillah. So, I didn't have my family with me, and that would have helped a lot. But it's precisely this reason why I feel so strongly as well about having this book, The Enlightened Wife and Soft and Strong, because I know what it feels like to be isolated, to feel so alone in your journey as a wife and as a mom, to not have that support around you, that support of soft and strong women who hold you up when you need that, and who hold space for your emotions. So that's all necessary for us to flourish as wives and as mothers. And so this is also my way of putting that kind of support in action, despite the way that we live these days. We all kind of dispersed around the world. We all, we're not always, a lot of women are not in the home where they grew up. They've kind of had to immigrate or be experts and so on. So it's still possible online, alhamdulillah. It's not physical support, but that emotional support is still meaningful and it's powerful.
Alhamdulillah. Now, we are heading in for a commercial very shortly, but before we do that, I think we went onto your Instagram feed, and you gave like just an overview where you actually were saying in the post that it's in the labor stages now, ladies, and it will be released to the world very soon. My latest baby. That's how you describe this book. And I think for females especially, we have many resources which teaches you, gives you advice on being a good wife, your rights and all of that. But I find that this is so needed. So we'll be speaking a bit more, also speaking about the upcoming launch and of Wives of Paradise, as well. So more on this when we return.
The Voice of the Cape, 91.3 FM stereo.
The Voice of the Cape Festival is back. It's happening from the 1st until the 4th of December. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be big. We can't wait to see you there. That's the Voice of the Cape Festival from the 1st until the 4th of December at the Athlone Stadium. We're going to see you there.
With up to 97% of Gaza's water supply unfit for human consumption, desalinated water is the only hope to avoid catastrophe. The Al Imdad Foundation has been operating desalination plants and delivering safe water in the Gaza Strip since 2014. Help us continue providing clean, safe drinking water in Gaza by donating your Lila Sadaka today. Visit alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
This is a message from Mayor Jordan Hill Lewis.
Spring is here, Cape Town, and it's time to spring clean our mother city together. We're calling on residents, schools, businesses, and communities to join the hashtag SpringCleanCT campaign. Let's take pride in our city and show what's possible when we unite as Team Cape Town. And change is easy. First, none of us should ever litter. Then, each of us can tell someone else not to litter. And finally, we can all take a second to pick up some litter ourselves. Join the campaign today and tag us on social media.
The City of Cape Town, making progress possible together.
Alpha Bodyworks Collision Repair Center and Alpha Express Auto, leaders in collision repairs for all types of vehicles, backed by all major insurers and vehicle manufacturers, including VW, Audi and Toyota. Using the latest technology and decades of industry experience, we at Alpha Bodyworks are renowned for quality and excellent service. Not word, we offer special rates for all non-insured clients with 21 courtesy vehicles and a 24-hour recovery service. Trust Alpha Bodyworks to bring you peace of mind. Contact Alpha Bodyworks today. Call 021-691-9333 or 5 or visit www.alphabodyworks.co.za. Alpha Bodyworks Collision Repair Center, steps above the rest.
Mense, Roman's Pizza have put me in this outfit and now they want me to sing. No, wait, I'm a comedian. Can we just turn the music down, please? Can I not just tell the people about the Savor flavor range? Roman's Pizza is bringing the flavor, okay, with barbecue chicken, pepperoni, mushroom margarita, and sweet delicious chicken. They're beefing up the flavor.
Get 2 large pizzas from the Savor flavor range for only $144.90. Roman's Pizza. We deliver or you collect.
Just show the slow motion cheese pull. That's what's going to make them less.
Available all day, every day at Roman's Pizza Athlone and Roman's Pizza Promenade.
The Butcher's Market. Everything you expect from a butcher's market and more, including A-class lamb and beef, chicken, sensational sausages, ground beef, tasty burgers, and quality cold meats. We take pride in the way we prepare, package, and present our products to you at the perfect price. Visit our conveniently located stores in Watergate Mall, Mitchell's Plain, Criscal Road, Belleville, opposite Middlestad Mall, Tokai Branch, opposite Melomed, or Sainsbury Square in Easter River. Visit www.butchersmarket.co.za. The Butcher's Market. Meet your expectations.
Applications are now open at the College of Cape Town, the coolest college in South Africa. Choose from our extensive range of pre- and post-matric full-time, part-time, and distant learning courses to prepare yourself for the corporate world. Apply now to avoid disappointment. For more information, visit cct.edu.za or call 0860 103 682. Aspiring future for inspired minds. College of Cape Town. We're cool.
The Voice of the Cape, 91.3 FM stereo.
My radio station, your radio station, our radio station, the Voice of the Cape.
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to the Voice of the Cape on 91.3 FM and 95.8 FM in the Boerland. Also to our viewers streaming live on Facebook and and YouTube. We've just had a bit of a technical problem with that, but we are continuing with our discussion very shortly. And my guest is Halima David. She is an author, originally from Cape Town, but living in Ireland. She has homeschooled her 4 children, but as she's mentioned now, they will be transitioning back into mainstream school. And she's spoken about her journey in writing and finding the time to actually write and publish 3 books. I think that is very commendable, mashallah. So now moving on to the actual book, and in terms of the enlightened wife and what exactly people can expect, because I haven't read the book, but I just read certain parts of the book, and what I like about it is that you give certain scenarios. And I read one scenario, and it's actually with regards to communication in relationships, and I find that this is very common, and especially with women, we always, wanting to initiate that conversation, and then you have, for example, a partner who isn't necessarily talkative and not the initiator of that conversation, and you end up being disappointed, as the one part that I read was about the couple being away from their children, spending time together, being then flying, spending time for 7 hours on a flight, and the wife telling the husband that I'd like to speak, and he's just disregarding her eagerness to actually have that conversation, and her then feeling disappointed. So speak to us about the actual book and the practical, advices that you share, and how the book is sort of like, designed to speak to the women or wives.
Yes. Okay, shukran for asking that question, Conita. So I find with myself, firstly, we don't know how to talk. We've never been taught how to talk to men, and there's a difference. There's a difference in the way you talk to a man and the way that you talk to a woman.
Yes.
Woman to woman, we don't always have to even fish our words. We connect on that level.
Yes.
We've got that similar way of thinking. That energy is similar. So we don't always have to put in so much work when we talk to another woman, or when we try to connect to another woman with another woman. It's not the same with men. And some people, I think, are very stubborn. They don't want to. I was one of these people. I didn't want to accept that there's a difference. There's a difference between a man and a woman. We are different in so many ways, and inside and outside we are different. Our minds are different. Our makeup is just different. So when talking to a man, I learned you have to enter it with you have to have a strategy, you have to have a plan before you start talking to a man. And it could be as simple as just starting with, is this a good time to talk? Instead of just, we women, we come with our emotions.
Demanding, and I need to talk now.
Yes, we already come with this energy, this overwhelm, and this kind of desperation, and that in itself is us, that's our own issues. We need to kind of be working with that on our own first, before we go and approach our husbands and talk to them about whatever's on our mind. Because I've found sometimes what we want to initially go and talk to our husbands about, it's not really something we want to talk to our husbands about. We just want to talk. We want to
offload.
We just want to offload. And in retrospect, when you backtrack a little bit, or after you've spoken to him and you think back, then you realize, I didn't really want to talk to him. I regret talking to him. He's not the right person I should have spoken to. Like, he can't get me on that level that I wanted him to get me, because he's a man. So what we do instead, what I suggest to my clients, is to journal about it. First, this is how we can mother ourselves, and this is what I talk about in the book Enlightened Wife as well. It focuses a lot on how we can be that wife not the wife for ourselves, but be that person for ourselves first and foremost.
Nurturing your own inner.
Yes, so be that comfort to yourself first, be that voice for yourself first, before you go to your husband with that heavy, desperate, urgent energy. that's going to put him off immediately, and you're going to just set yourself up for disappointment. You're not going to get what you want. So journal first about it. Even speak to another sister, a woman. Speak to a woman that you trust who's got your best interests at heart. Be very selective about who you speak to, though. Who wants to see you succeed in your marriage. And then if you still feel, after you've journaled, after you've perhaps spoken to another woman, you still feel there's a need to speak to your husband. It's something that, you need to address with him. It concerns him. Maybe it's something that you want him to do for you, or a need that is not being met and you need that need to be met by him. Then you can go and talk to him. But now you've worked through your own emotions and you're not coming from this heavy, urgent place that's going to put him off. And then when you go to him, you ask him, is this a good time? So you respect his mind as well. He's wherever he's at in his mind, maybe he's got things going on.
Yes.
Maybe he's got his own dilemma within, So you ask him, is it a good time to talk? And he'll say yes or no. And then you go forth. And when you do speak to him, and this is also something that a lot of women I've experienced have a problem with, is that we want to talk and talk and talk. But the one thing about journaling is you won't have this urgency to want to talk and talk and talk. And if you do, you need to discipline yourself. You need to be have enough self-control to not go on and on, just so that you can set yourself up for success and you can get the positive outcome that you want out of this. Keep your sentences short, keep it concise, know what you want to say before you say it. It sounds a lot of planning involved, but when you get into the habit, when you're able to sort out your thoughts, it becomes like easy. It's actually easy. And going on and on and on, and you're weeding yourself out, you're weeding your husband out. So just short, concise sentences. Sometimes you just need sentences to say what you want to say and to request what you want to request.
Wonderful. Now we have a few more minutes remaining of time. Can you believe it? Yes, but I think the important information that we need to share is the fact that you are launching your book here in Cape Town, and there's a special event that will be taking place. So I'm going to ask Zulfa to maybe just give us details on the book launch. And Zulfa Brown Jabbar is the founder as well as a life coach for the Wives Paradise Foundation. And, she's connected us with Halima David. So very shukran to you. And Zulfa, so our listeners are very familiar with the work that you are doing. So maybe just share a bit about the upcoming event.
Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Yes, alhamdulillah that the Almighty brought me into contact with Halima, and I recognize that the work that she does is very much in alignment with our work as well as at Wives of Paradise, and we love collaborating with organizations and projects and people who do work in the community like this that's really so sorely needed. There are a couple of books like this, but they're not written from the perspective of a Muslim and from the perspective of finding love with the Almighty. So alhamdulillah, of Wives of Paradise and the Voice of the Cape listeners would know we had the honor of reading this book last year on air and the year before over a couple of months, and now we are going to have the honor of launching Halima's third book, and that is the